Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Lookout, where as the tagline goes, I'm always on the lookout for the next watch in my collection. So as the title of this video says, this is the Boderry LandMaster Un unboxing. And as you can see, there's nothing there in front of the camera. A quick wristwatch check shows that I am wearing my Boderry Admiral GMT, the most worn watch in my collection thus far because I wear it every day when I get home from work and take off whatever watch I was wearing to wear this one. You know, I haven't made a video in a while, and that's because this summer I moved to a new city, a new home, started a new job at a new campus, and so I took the summer off also because I'm in the top floor of a building that gets baked by the sun all day long. And if you don't have the air conditioner on in here, it's intolerable. But of course that affects the audio quality. So I'm filming earlier on a Sunday morning before I have to turn on the AC. And today I want to talk about where's the box. So I ordered on July 17th. By the way, today it is September 15th. The first day the LandMaster was available for sale, I purchased the watch within the first 2 hours that it went on sale, and I received my purchase confirmation email, as you do. But then it was another 10 days before I received an update and a tracking number for the watch that I had ordered. Now, I first want to point out something. I guess I'll get to the story of everything that happened. But that thumb that I've used for this video is not actually a photo I've taken myself, but it is from the Boderry website. I think it's important to make that distinction because, as I'll get into later, there is a difference between their images and the reality. See if I can set these up. These are just watches that are Boderry that I have in my collection. I've purchased 6 Boderry watches, 4 of which I intended to keep, but as you can see, I only actually have 3, and there is one missing, and that is the LandMaster that was supposed to be in the collection. Let's see, this isn't cooperating, and I'm doing a terrible job in my first video back after taking a hiatus. Right, I contemplated going outside, starting the video outside so that you could see the 360-degree view from my terrace, which is really pretty natural area. All right, so as I said, I ordered the LandMaster within the first couple hours that it went on sale, and it was 10 days before they sent me an email with a tracking number, and there was no indication when I ordered the watch that the watch was not in stock or that it wasn't yet available, whereas when I ordered the Admiral GMT, they were keen enough to tell their customers, look, we're going to send you updates, the watch isn't ready yet. And I think about a month after I paid for the Admiral, they sent an update. They said, your watch has been made, although now it's gone to testing, quality control, etc. And that was really smart of them, you know, because they kept us abreast of the situation. And I think this was the result of all the dissatisfied customers that Boderry had when they released the Voyager. I saw many apology emails hit my inbox about the delays sending the Voyager out, pleading for customer patience, etc. So when they released the Admiral, they obviously wanted to avoid making that same mistake, and they sent those update emails, and that was just you know, good business to do that. Unfortunately, when I ordered the LandMaster, there was no such emails. There was nothing. So, 10 days after, as I said, on the 27th of July, I received a tracking number. And I checked the tracking number periodically, and nothing happened. There was no information in the system of the various different tracking sites that I used. And it sat there and sat there and sat there with nothing happening. So at some point, I sent an email to Boderry, and I'm like, what's going on? And I think they sent me an email or two back asking for my patience. And that was when I would have replied to them that, this is kind of bad business if you're not telling your customers that the watch is not in stock or that it hasn't been made and it's not ready to ship. Well, this went on probably a dozen emails back and forth over the course of the next 2 months. And finally, they sent the watch about a month and a half after I purchased it. It finally left Singapore to make its way here. However, in the time that it took for the watch to arrive in country, the customs laws here in Turkey changed again. Now, viewers to my channel know that I have bemoaned the customs regulations here in Turkey. They lowered the import limit a couple of years ago, and they inspect every box. It's a whole thing. And I've complained about it numerous times because it adds time, obviously, to receiving your purchase, but they also increase the import duty tax as well. Well, it turns out that in the beginning of August, the government here lowered the import limit to 30 euros and increased the tax on non-EU items, origination items, to 60%. Well, when I discovered that, I knew I wasn't going to get the LandMaster. Nonetheless, Wednesday, September 11th, I got time off of my new job, and I went into the city to visit the customs/cargo company's office to either try and get my watch, if the gods would be looking down on me favorably, or to send the watch back. I went in, and it was just before their lunch break, and they had the package. They didn't know what was inside of it. I told them it was a watch. In my emails to Boderry, I explained that the customs rules had changed. They said, well, we marked $12 on the label of the box itself, so you should be all right. And then they sent me a shipping invoice that also said $12 on the box. But the people there in the cargo department, along with the customs officer, they weren't buying it. So right in front of me, they pulled the box out of the box, and they said, what's inside of it? And I told them it was a watch. So they managed to get the little shipping crate watch that the Boderry comes in, and they pulled it out, and there, in all of its disappointing glory, was the LandMaster. Now this gets to the thumbnail, right, that I'm using for this video, which is an actual photograph from Boderry on their website that advertises the LandMaster. The LandMaster looks nothing like the photographs on their website. The watch is gray. There's no two ways about it. It is gray in the same way that this titanium Urban is gray, except that it's even more gray than this. It is not black, as that photograph would seem to indicate. And in fact, as most of the photographs seem to indicate, that it is near black, some type of IP treatment or something to make it near black. The photograph that I've used is the best example because it's not a computer rendering from the brand. It is an actual photograph, which looks tantalizing. That's in fact why I ordered the watch, because I wanted a black titanium watch. Now, in Boderry's defense, on their product description, it says that it is gray, but it is completely gray. It is such a light colored gray. It actually matches another watch that I have here in my case, but now that I've set these watches up, I can't show you. It looks like sort of a bead blasted or sand blasted matte gray. It in no way resembles the photography on the website. So, in a weird twist, I guess things happen for a reason, because as soon as I saw the watch in real life, I was immediately disappointed. And so it comes as no surprise. I immediately directed the company to go ahead and return it to Boderry. It was, I ordered the version with the titanium bracelet, which also comes with, I selected the black color NATO strap. And I should back up a little bit, because somewhere in the email chain with Phoebe from Boderry, they basically abandoned the first tracking number that they assigned for my package, and they issued a new tracking number, because when I ordered the watch in the middle of July, I was reasonably sure that I would receive the watch before um, I had to return to work. And that didn't happen. So as I got to the time when I had to return to work, I had put the address for my new home as the delivery address, as opposed to my office. And so in the emails back and forth with Phoebe, I explained that I needed to have this watch sent to my work address. And part of their apology for taking so long to send me the watch and not notifying customers that the watches weren't ready, she offered to throw in a second NATO strap, and I selected a tan one. So I was meant to get the black NATO strap, the tan NATO strap, and then, of course, the titanium bracelet. Now, the watch itself, when I saw it at the cargo department, was on the black NATO strap, and I could see in a little bag the titanium strap, or titanium bracelet. But both the tan and the black NATO straps look cheap. I don't know that they were cheap. They probably are durable, but they just looked like facsimiles of a NATO strap and not an actual NATO strap. They were shinier than any of my other NATO straps, which calls into question if they're 100% nylon. I'm not precisely sure, but I immediately had buyer's remorse. I was already frustrated that I wasn't going to be able to take possession of the watch. But once I laid my eyes on the watch, it really didn't feel like the quality of the Boderys that I have in my collection. And you know, I've purchased 6 of these watches. I purchased a titanium Sea Turtle Ocean. This is the bronze version. And I also purchased a Lady Dragonfly, and I gifted those two, as viewers of my channel know. I gifted those two to a friend's wedding last summer, and I obviously have these 3. I bought the Urban first, and then I bought the bronze Sea Turtle, and then, of course, the Admiral GMT, and rounding out my collection was going to be the LandMaster, and then I was going to do a state of the collection that would feature all 4 of the Boderys that I have in my collection. Sadly, it was not to be. And now, of course, with only a €30 import limit, I won't be buying watches from AliExpress anymore or from the brands themselves. The only thing that I would have as an option is to purchase watches domestically, watches that are for sale on retail websites or maybe in a shop somewhere. But you know, the LandMaster was meant to be the final watch in my collection, rounding out the number to 36 watches, and I felt that that was probably a lot more watches than I really need and certainly wear with any regularity. As I said, this is hands down the most worn watch over the last 3 years that I've worn of any of the watches. I wear it every day, but I should say there's a caveat. Principally, I wear it every other day because there is a problem with the winding stem. When you pull out the winding stem to adjust the time, the date, or the GMT hour, when you go to reseat the crown and you go to screw it back in, the minute hand moves around the dial, right? So it's not disengaging the time setting function as you attempt to screw it back down. And after 3 or 4 attempts, it finally does sort of trick itself into screwing back down without messing up the time. And so I have just preferred to wear this every day just to keep it accurate, because I don't want to deal with that problem. And this is an NH34 movement. I have a couple of other watches with NH34 movements, and they don't have that problem. And I have spoken to that before in an earlier video. So that's why this is the most worn watch, aside from the fact that it's really comfortable, it's highly legible, and I think it's a fabulously executed watch. All right, well, so that is the saga and the story of the LandMaster that was never to be in my collection. Thanks, guys, for coming out. I'm going to upload this video. It probably went a little bit longer than I meant. Nonetheless, I really appreciate viewers to my channel. I appreciate your comments, your feedback, and I really appreciate this whole thing of collecting watches and doing videos about them. And I guess I was going to follow up the unboxing video with the state of the collection of my Boderys, and so I guess that's coming up next. Cheers, everybody.